back with another one. Well, one day I'm gonna write a book on spiritual warfare. The amount of people that take what they can do and try to secretly be a bully while hiding behind stuff is so crazy to me. All that time you could be investing in yourself, doing something to make yourself better. But instead you out here trying to be a bully. And you too coward to be a real bully. That's what the crazy part is. These people be too coward to be a real bully. It's like you can't even bully in your own name. You gotta hide. Can't even scroll down your social media in peace. Cause everything on there be shots fired. MF is in the background trying so hard to get your attention. The fact that I've been going through this for years now. It's like it ain't enough for them to do things to make you lose your job, your whole livelihood, your house, your car, your everything. If that ain't enough, they just want to keep going and going and going and going and going and going. I don't know what the purpose is. Like, you can't make me, if what you're trying to do is make me off myself, you're not that good. Y'all not even real bullies. That's the crazy part. You can't be a real bully and you scared to show yourself. And so if y'all think, constantly coming for me is gonna put me in a depression, y'all should be more depressed than me. Cause you don't know how to hide to say what you gotta say. I can say what I have to say out in the open. Hey y'all. I can say what I got to say out in the open. With no fear of repercussions. Because y'all done did everything. However, y'all gotta hide behind memes and videos and stuff to try to get a reaction. And if you think you're gonna make me crash out on nobody, you failing at that too. Because I have more restraint than to just be going off on, nobody's around me to be going off on anybody. I have more self-control than that. So if you're trying to make me crash up, it must sucks to be you, to know that you're a failure at everything you do. It's gotta be sad. So I don't know. I see family. That's what they keep me in. Family. Not to be depressed. It's Christmas time. Yeah, you think, that's hot. Let me put my hair up. You think people would have much better things to do during this holiday season, but they don't. They don't. Just for the record, I think you missed the whole point. I'm not the sad one. I'm not the depressed one. I think you missed the first part of it. I'm trying to figure out why the people in the energy evidently so sad and depressed. Why they don't have anything else better to do with their lives. Okay, this just not staying here. Let me make it small. I think you missed the whole point, Paul. But it's okay. I get it. Alright. Let's see what's in this energy. I actually had a good Christmas. I had a really good Christmas. Dragging people into their delusion. They're hiding depression. Okay, so who is hiding depression? I see death. Death of what? Somebody could be crossing over. He's about to. Or something could be ending. Let's see. Spirit guides, ancestors. Tell us what's in the energy. Tell me what is in the energy. Somebody trying to. Lord. These people been trying to ruin reputations for years now. Something not working for them. Something not working for these people, y'all, because they've been doing it too long. You know, typically, I guess when people do this, it's like a straight shot thing. It's like a one and done. You know, once y'all did everything to do all the damage, then typically it's, you know, it's over with. But the fact that they keep going at, they've been going at this for years now. You ain't caused enough damage to my reputation. I mean, I don't know whose reputation is trying to be ruined. Because I don't even talk to anybody at this point. I see a brother and sister duo. Alive. Somebody doing what they always do. We started off talking about that. Magic. I seen alchemy. People playing in the energy. Let's see. Brother and sister duo. Calvin, Melvin keep popping up. Spiritually stalking. That's remote viewing for y'all out there who might feel some type of way when I say spiritual stalking. Look it up. You can figure it out, you know, if you don't know very much about it. People are actually able to see what it is that you're doing when you think you're all alone. So when certain things start popping up on your phone, I don't think it's all AI all the time, depending on what you have going on. They can spiritually stalk for remote viewing. Which means they can spiritually bully as well. They can be bullies as well. No, I don't even know if you really want to call those type of people bullies, because they scared. Typically bullies, they bully up front, you know, they don't bully behind your back. I don't know what you would call that. Typically bullies, you know, they show their face and they try to bully people they feel like can't do anything back, which is what these people do. And they feel like you can't do anything back. But here's the thing. They don't even allow you to do anything back because they hide behind stuff. They hide behind memes and pictures and people, and they be in everybody's energy except for their own. And so you don't get a chance to respond, because by responding you immediately look crazy, because they playing in the energy. They're playing with energy. So not everybody is able to see through stuff like that. But it's been coming up for the longest for me. Family, people from my past, old friends, old people that I used to call friends. I see Chelsea, clout chasing. Let's see what's really going on. It's always stuff about money. That's what comes up most of the time. Money. You know, people doing all of this over money. I always say for me, you know, it's no coincidence that for me, all of this didn't start for me until my money started looking a certain way. Until I started being able to live a certain lifestyle. So although inheritance, a stolen inheritance, always comes out, it's like if you stole something, then, you know, I always say just a regular thief would steal what they got to steal and just be gone with it, you know. They just be gone, spending whatever they stole at this point, because, you know, you have to pull a lot of cards to steal an inheritance, you know. You got to get crooked attorneys and banks and all of that on your side to, you know, people who know about it to be able to steal an inheritance. So you think after that you just do it and go away. I'm shuffling the cards anyway, y'all. But for me, it wasn't just that and go away. It was that and harassment and stalking and watching and trying to cause you to lose everything that you build. And having people go into places where you are and talk about you so that people can be looking at you a certain way. I guess they want people to think you crazy. They want people to think you losing your mind. They spread rumors and gossip at your job and call up to your job and send people up to your job and put people all in the banks. Like I said, they're following you around to places where you frequent and have people talking to the people in the places you frequent. Like, that really got me. That really did something to me to see to see it. You know, I let y'all see it too. It's on some of my old videos I have up here. But to see it actually taking place, you know, it's like I guess it's like a smear campaign they have to call. But what's the purpose of doing it? That's my thing. It's like a smear campaign that they doing. They cause you to lose everything, and then they go around and spread rumors. I guess they want people to think it's your fault that you lost everything. When in reality, it been a whole setup. It's a whole setup that they do. And in reality, all these people have worked together. In reality, people have been set up, paid. I said people have been set up. In reality, people have been paid to do what it is that they're doing. And so when you look around, it may not be people you familiar with, but they familiar with you because they've been briefed on the situation, what to say, what to do, who it is they're looking for, what you look like. And so you wonder how people know you and you don't know them. All you do is mind your own business. Return to sender. I don't know. I guess I don't know if I've just gotten so used to that where I just don't even notice it anymore. It just blend in, or if that part has stopped. Because I pretty much go into the same places, so maybe their little smear campaign is over with until you in a different area or something, then they gotta start it all over again. Family. Family, it's always family. Which is so funny to me because when I started going through this, I told y'all in my old videos, my whole family disappeared. They all disappeared. They all pretended to not see anything I had going on. Oh, look, for me, I kind of started rebuilding what was lost, but I remember reaching out to my mother at one point, not just asking her about money, if she knew anything about anything being left to me or anything, but I was just talking, and I told her I lost everything. I told her I lost everything. And she didn't even respond with, do you need some help? Can I do something for you? What do you mean everything? How did you lose your job? Like all the average stuff that a parent would normally say to a child after you say you lost everything. She didn't respond with any of that. She pretty much just said something to the effect of, God does everything for a reason. God does everything for a reason. It's like, wow. Nonetheless, I haven't talked to her since then because what the hell am I calling you for? If that's how you feel, you have nothing else to nothing else to say other than that. Stolen house, that's what just popped out. Maybe this is what they're trying to hide. That's been coming out for the longest. Just as long as I've been dealing with this that I've been dealing with. That's been coming out in my cars. So funny. Visions I used to get. I remember seeing it in my visions one day. But not just that, it come out in my cars all the time. That there is some property that was stolen. So it's probably a lot of fraud stuff going on here. But again, my thing is, when you steal something, why don't you just steal it and you move on? I see Chelsea. Jail, prison, mental breakdown. So when you steal something, why don't you just move on? When you steal something, why you gotta stick around and watch and stalk and do little petty things to aggravate? I mean, let's just say I did lose my mind and I did crash out. Then what? I mean, is that the purpose? Are you trying to make me look unstable so that it can look like it's a reason that y'all have done what y'all have done? Be surprised how many people go through this and people don't believe them. I see drugs. Maybe they want to make it look like you on drugs. Speaking of drugs, I already said, y'all, people used to break in and out my house and they were putting stuff in my food. So that's what I felt like back then. They wanted to make it look like either you trying to kill me or you want to make it look like I was on some kind of drugs, because why are you putting stuff in my food? And I go to cook something and I use certain seasonings, feel like you getting high. And so I knew whatever it was placed in my seasoning. So I had to stop using certain things. And they was breaking into my house often. I got videos on that too. How it was hard for me to use my own key a lot of times because people would break in and out my house all the time. Unfortunately, public stores never done anything. Evidently, they didn't see a need to protect their employees. So, paid actors all around. So those people I told you, everywhere you go, they are. Alright, I think I shuffled enough. Let's see. What is going on? Dragging other people into their delusion. And so, yes, this is something several people are in on this. They may call themselves, have taken some kind of sides, have chosen sides. Of course, when you choose sides, who you gonna listen to? People who seem to be the most resourceful. You know, you're not gonna listen to the one they trying to make look crazy, the one they trying to steal from. You know, you got to be real bold to go with the person that they trying to set up. And so it's a lot of people on one team. No, this is like jumping somebody. When a lot of people jump on one person, I think that's that's really a weak way of doing things to me. When a lot of people have to come for one person, and it speaks volumes of the weakness of the people who are doing it. Because why does it have to be everybody ganging up on one person? Proverbs 17:23, it says, a wicked man will take a bribe in secret. Okay, to pervert the course of justice. Exactly what we've been talking about. People ganging up. People being bribed. People being, paid off to do certain things. Paid off to turn a blind eye, pretend like they didn't see anything. Paid off to watch you. Paid off to go into the places where you are and try to make friends with the people so that they can spread rumors and have people watching you. There's someone calling on the evil world of spirits here. See New York right behind it. I also see they are experimenting on you. I guess trying to see how much you can take. Especially if you've been taking it like a G, You've just been making it out of whatever it is they've been sending your way. Without anybody, because they try to turn everybody against you. So it would be you going at it by yourself, which is exactly what they want it to be. Trying to stop your money. They try to isolate you. Because in their mind, family doesn't like you. They try to isolate you because in their mind, you can probably go crazy the quickest, if you have nobody who have your back, if you have nobody you can talk to. Something I was watching one day, it's something hierarchy of needs. I'm about to look it up right now. Try to make this fast. Hold on. Hierarchy of needs. Give it a second to come up, as I just turned my internet on, so maybe. Hierarchy of needs. Open reproof is better than concealed love. I see Calvin here. So somebody named Calvin may have something to do with what is going on. Somebody named Calvin maybe. Maybe have some type of concealed love. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I think that's what it is. And then Calvin may have some kind of love for you. Could be hiding it. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Let's see what this is. It popped up in my videos one day, my YouTube videos. So the bottom of it says physiological needs: air, water, food, shelter. Just your housing, protection, clothing, sleep, reproduction. The next one says safety needs: personal security, no violence, no crime, health and well-being, a stable environment, financial security. The third one is love and belongings, family, friendship, community, romantic relationships, group membership, affection, and intimacy. Next one is esteem, self-respect, confidence, respect from others, reputation, and then self-actualization is the top one, which says creativity, personal growth, moral development, pursuit of meaning, purpose-driven action. And so it seems like what they do is they target you by your hierarchy of needs. By this, I don't know if y'all can see that. Why they go off so quick. So it feels like what they do is they target you based off that, at least from what I've experienced. And so the first thing they did was they try to knock off your physiological needs. That's your shelter, your housing, the protection, your roof over your head. So the first thing they do, try to make you homeless. And then they go for safety needs, your personal safety. It says health and well-being, a stable environment, financial security. And so they go for your money, which is one of the cards that I pulled already, trying to stop your money. It's the next thing they do. It's how they try to destabilize you. They knock off your stability with your housing, and they try to stop your money, which means your job. Unfortunately for me, my job and my house was in the same place at one point. Love and belonging, family, friendship, community. Remember when I said all my family just kind of faded away at one time? All my friendships just dissipated. You know, one minute they were there, one minute everybody was kind of weird acting, and you know, once you sense that kind of that energy shift, I just removed myself from it. I don't keep going around. I just completely remove myself. Self-esteem, self-respect, confidence. Remember, I started the video by saying the things that they try to put in your face, you know, the aggravation, the bullying online, is to come for your self-esteem. It's to make you feel some way about yourself. And then your personal growth, which is what they try to make non-existent, you know. As long as they can keep targeting you in so many ways, then you really can't focus on personal growth. You know, you focus on survival because it's what you're pushed in, survival mode. And it just popped up, a video like this just popped up one day in my timeline. And that's what it was talking about. And I feel like that's exactly is what they do. That's how they target you. They come for all of those different things. Things you would need to have some type of productive lifestyle. You know, things that would appear to come natural for a person. Since the core idea is that individuals must satisfy lower level needs before they can focus on a higher level aspirations, through modern understanding acknowledges that the needs can overlap and be pursued simultaneously. So this is supposed to be a model of the human needs. What you would need to have some type of a productive life or a productive lifestyle. From your basic needs all the way up to your self-growth. Things you need to just have a basic lifestyle. All the way up to things up to a purpose-driven life, so to speak, you know. From just your basic lifestyle to a purpose-driven life. And it's what they target from the bottom up. Aquarius keep popping out. I see loves to keep up drama, content, worthless, So this Aquarius could be a person who is missing. Could be a person who likes to talk. This could be the person trying to get people on their side, you know. This could be the person out there gossiping, spreading rumors. I see paranoia. Person may be paranoid. Mental breakdown. That's what I see. Air signs. Air signs. I just seen air signs while I was shuffling. And so there could be an Aquarius. Oh, I can't make this up. Look, paranoid again. That's two different cards. That's it. Two different cards said paranoid. One says paranoia and the other one says paranoid. I didn't even know I had two cards in here. Mental breakdown. Still sleeping with X. So either Aquarius could be going through some type of mental breakdown. They're paranoid here. They're messy. They're doing a lot of gossip, spreading a lot of. They're doing a lot of talking in the background. Could be talking about you. I see got receipts. Somebody could have receipts, or they could be saying they have receipts or something. It's a person trying to keep up a lot of drama in the background. So this is going to be one of the people who want to make sure you look a certain way here. They could be going through some type of mental breakdown, and they could be paranoid, or they could be trying to make you go through some type of mental breakdown and be paranoid here. I still sleeping with X. So this person could be still sleeping with somebody from their past, or they could be sleeping with someone from your past. Joseph. I cut the deck on Joe. Somebody could be still sleeping with their ex. Maybe their ex name is Joe. This Aquarius here. Got the deck on Gold Digger as well. Mary. My name could be Mary. Gold Digger right underneath. So this is somebody who relationships are probably money based here. This is someone who is not self-sufficient here. They lean on people for income, for money, for things, material things. This could be a superficial person. I see they hate you. And also they slept with a friend here. So this person could have slept with one of your friends. Or slept with somebody from your past. I see non-profit here. Somebody could have a non-profit. Fire sign could be significant. You could be a fire sign. They could be a fire sign. The person that this Aquarius slept with could be a fire sign. With some type of non-profit here. Okay, so with this, they hate you here. And they could be, have slept with a friend here. Sounds like somebody is doing something to try to get under your skin or get back at you for something. So you got receipts. Got receipts. Somebody has receipts of this. Somebody got receipts of something being done. Somebody trying, maybe some relationship that somebody had with someone here, I just seen a Sagittarius. So definitely a Sagittarius and Aquarius could be significant here. And somebody could be, like these two people, I see sabotage. And so this person could have been sleeping with someone here to try to sabotage you. If this is someone they thought would help you in a situation where you needed help. Or if this is someone they thought would help them. This could be somebody, definitely somebody from your past here. Somebody could have had some kind of encounter with too here. There's somebody from your past. Maybe they got something out of it. We did see gold digger. Maybe this person has some type of status or income. You know, maybe they do well for themselves here. I see artists. This person could do well for themselves. They could be an artist. They could be an artist. Blacklisted. I see a threesome. Somebody could have had a threesome with somebody here. Somebody could have had someone blacklisted here. And so this goes with that hierarchy of needs. This is your income. This is your money here. Blacklisted. This is, you know, you can't find a job, can't get a loan. You may be shadow banned from social media accounts, which means you won't be able to make money online. Dominique. I just cut the deck on a Dominique. Bride paying for spells. So somebody's name could be Dominique. See, endings. That's what just flipped out. Endings. Something could be ending for someone here. Aquarius. I keep seeing Aquarius. CPS and jail. So Aquarius and jail came out twice right behind each other. And their cars ain't nowhere near each other. But that's what it came out twice. So Aquarius may be facing some jail time for doing something. So we did have, the only thing I see in here we had so far that has to do with maybe some jail time is someone still in the house. So they can have something to do with just a stolen house. A bribe, depending on who they bribe. And what they was bribing someone for here. They bribed somebody to do something. Somebody was paid to do something. Blacklisted. Again, I cut the deck on blacklisted. Maybe someone was paid to have you blacklisted here, or to say something to have you blacklisted too. Maybe they know someone who could make moves like this. If you know someone, if someone from your past would be able to make moves like this, and maybe that's why they slept with this person. Maybe that's why they connected to this person right here to try to have you blacklisted here. Maybe this is somebody with a status, somebody that's well known, somebody well connected that could have had you blacklisted. That could have been a situation with your job. No, I started off, every time I start off kind of just randomly talking about stuff, it always has something to do with what actually come out in these cards. It never fails. Every single time it has something. Eventually, it all makes sense. And so maybe someone who this Aquarius slept with could be someone from their past, somebody they know they could have bribed to do this, or it could have been someone that you know that they bribed to do this here. I see you can have whatever you like. So there's definitely someone with money here in this situation. We seen gold digger. Somebody is a gold digger. That's what they do. They go after people with statuses, with money. with resources behind them. So they could have slept with someone. That may have been the payment, the bribery, to have you done some type of way here. This is your money, your job. So this could have been a reason you lost a job, or maybe you couldn't find a job after you lost this job. It could have been a reason you could not find a job. If your account's been shadow banned, there could have been a reason why your accounts were shadow banned here. This was people working together to try to tear you down, using that hierarchy of needs. They want to destabilize you from the bottom up. You know, first with your basic needs, your stability, your household, you know. Again, trying to make you homeless. And then we're going to make sure you can't get a job after that. We're going to go after your money. We're going to make sure you're not able to make any money online when you do things. We're going to make sure people don't see you, just in case you're able to say something. You know, everybody not seeing you like it was. So if your views went from a high count to a very low count, it's probably safe to say you were shadow banned. We all know what shadow banned is. They see you as a threat. They see you as a threat. And they see somebody bought a house here. So hopefully they didn't attempt to make it appear that they bought a house that was stolen, because there is definitely a stolen house in this. And these people got some, look, wow, bribe again right here, bribe. Entitled. Somebody here felt entitled for something. You know, people like this kill me. You know, they don't want to do the work for something. They just feel like it's owed to them for some reason. So everybody else have to work for stuff, but you can just sleep your way to into getting what it is that you want. You can just throw some stolen money around to get what it is you want. I see Libra. They may have slept with a Libra. Aquarius could have had some kind of dealings with the Libra here. Keep saying Chelsea, which is so funny because that's my sister's name and she is an Aquarius, so I'm dead on with this Aquarius name. I actually have two sisters named Aquarius. Not named Aquarius. I actually have two sisters who are an Aquarius, my oldest one and my youngest one. They are Aquariuses. I keep saying trying to clean it up. Somebody's trying to clean something up now. After something has been done already here. It says contact a lawyer. So they're trying to clean it up here. So it looks like you got family here that have set a situation into play here. Set some things up here to try to maybe just take what it is they want from you. And to make sure you don't have anything. Why would they want to make sure you are lacking? You know, you gotta... I keep saying that it's one thing to just steal from somebody, but you gotta have some hidden animosity. You gotta have some hidden jealousy, some hidden hatred in your heart to want to tear a person all the way down to nothing. What they've worked hard to build. I see codependent here. Yeah, we already seen gold digger. That's what gold diggers are. They're codependent. Right behind it, fraud. So somebody right behind it, I don't know if y'all can see that, collaborated with family to commit fraud. This is family working with some other people to commit some kind of fraud. So far we see that they could have stolen some type of house. which goes back to some kind of inheritance. So it definitely could have been some money involved in this too. And so to make you look like you're incompetent or something could have definitely been the goal with that destabilizing you, trying to take away what you need to have a secure life. Maybe so they won't have to be accountable for whatever it is they were stolen from you. That could be the reason why. Could be something like power of attorney going on. Somebody trying to pretend as if you're incompetent. You know, you can't take care of yourself. That'll be a hard thing to prove for me unless they got some people to tell a lie, because I was on my job for 11 years before they literally just kind of cherry picked some shit to try to fire me over. 11 years I never had a write-up. And with my job, it's like it ain't nobody working over you telling you do this. And like, I ran my store that I had. Nobody incompetent running a whole store by themselves, living by themselves, loaning money when people needed it to them, being able to travel by themselves. You know, nobody incompetent doing that. I seen T.I. So for me, that could be definitely confirmation on a Libra, because I think he is a Libra too. So T.I. could be initials for something. It could be a targeted individual, because that's what it appears that you are, a targeted individual. I see smart, not wise. I'll pay for it. So somebody was smart. They put together a smart plan. They thought they were going to get away with something. But y'all ever heard them saying, when people say, you know, people so smart, they stupid? I think that may have been the case here. It says somebody was smart, not wise. So the plan was smart, but it was a very stupid idea here. It wasn't wise of them to do this and expect to get away with it. It says I'll pay for it. I just seen federal court. So definitely some stuff going on with some money here. James Bond. James could be the last name of somebody here. 007. Somebody could be like in the military or connected to military people. Somebody could be maybe talking to someone here under some type of alias. I see exploit. They could have been trying to exploit someone here. Yeah, contempt. Somebody's worthless here. So what somebody is worthless. And you are deserving here of this lifestyle here that they tried to deprive you of. Even depriving you out of what you work for. This is like somebody wanted you to work and never be able to reap the rewards of what it is that you're working for. And so they don't want you to have what was left to you, and they don't want you to have what you was working for either. Motivation. It's motivation. It's motivation to you. Keep doing whatever it is you're doing. That's when people gang up like this to try to stop you from doing what it is that you're doing, then you know you're on the right path. You know you're on the right path. People don't just gang up and target somebody who ain't worth anything, who don't know anything, who can't accomplish anything, who struggle with everything. What do they say? Somebody not gonna break into an empty house. You know, they only going for what they know they can get something from. And so although they may have spreaded a lot of rumors, talked a lot of noise, tried to make the world, or at least your city or your state, see you in a certain way, your friends, the people who you thought were your friends, the places where you go, although they may have tried to get them to see you a certain way, these are people who know the truth. They know the truth of who you are. They know. It's like this was a setup to target someone here. Definitely money involved with this gold digger here. Appears to me they wanted a lifestyle that was for you, that they didn't want to work for here. So this could have been family members here, siblings. What did I say? Somehow my sister's name popped up. A sign popped up, the Aquarius, and then here is siblings. So that's like triple confirmation. Look, I can't make it up, y'all. I cut the deck to shuffle the cards on partnership. So you have siblings here winning partnership to try to steal something from you. If this was some type of inheritance, they partnered up with someone, each other, and people around you to try to leave you out of it. So this could be people who appear to be doing well and living well off an inheritance, while you are getting the short end of the stick here, while you may be struggling, while you may be trying to piece back together your life after they have caused you to lose everything. Remember that hierarchy of needs, starting with your stability, your home, the roof over your head. Disabled and endings. This is definitely coming to an ending. I don't know if that disabled is saying that something is being picked apart, which confirms this ending here, or disabled. Maybe they said you were disabled. Maybe this could have been like a disability. It's funny, my daddy used to get disability, and I don't know like how that worked when he died or whatever. I'm not sure how that worked. My daddy used to get disability. And I remember when I first got pregnant with my son, like he was really angry, and he put me out the house. It was just for a few months, but he put me out the house. And I remember when I left, I went and stayed with my sister. And I went back like shortly after I had my son. He kind of fell in love with my son, and of course I went back home after that. He used to treat my son like it was his own. Like he just made it his own little son. But I remember while I was gone, that's when I found out I got what was a disability check. But it wasn't because I had disability. It was because of my daddy's disability. With his disability, all of us got checks. All of the children got checks because of his disability. And when I left, what they would do is just give me my check, which I had never gotten before. But what they would do is and it was only like $200 and some dollars. But what they would do is give me that check instead of keeping it when I left. And I don't know if that have anything to do with anything. But when that disabled came up, that's what it reminded me of. And so somebody could be in a situation like that. Maybe it was your parents. Maybe somebody passed that had disability, that you should have gotten some kind of disability check or some type of payment from them being on disability and them passing away. Whatever this is right here, whatever this property is, whatever this is, they just skipped over you. They just pretty much said, you don't deserve that. They felt entitled to it, and they were going to take it. This Libra just popped up again. I cut the deck on Libra. So somebody could definitely be a Libra and definitely be an Aquarius here. And we also seen fire signs. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Which is funny because my daddy is also a Libra. He was a Libra. So this could definitely be going somewhere, y'all. Pay attention if any of those signs ring a bell. I keep saying yes. I feel like I'm right on target with something here. New home. Bribe and new home. I don't know if y'all can see that. New home. And bribe just kind of fell out again. So somebody was bribed. Look at this. On the top of the deck. There is an appointed time when the Holy Ones will get back everything they lost. It's something that was stolen. It wasn't lost. It was stolen or purposely kept away from you while they attempted to take this on their own. This is something they were trying to keep you from getting. Look, I just cut the deck on security. So something could have been protected, or something could have been placed in some type of security, or could have been placed in one of those accounts that, accrue money over time. If something was left in some type of a security, maybe it's something that built up over time. What's so funny? Initially, when all of this started happening, I kept getting something about an uncle. And one day I had a dream. I went to sleep and I dreamed I was talking to my daddy, who is now passed. And I was talking to him. And we talked about a lot of different things. And he was just about to tell me something about my uncle. He was like, and your uncle. And right as he was saying, and your uncle, it's like the dream just ended. And I never got a chance to hear whatever it was that he was saying. And I don't know why. I don't even know why I'm saying that. So something could be significant about an uncle as well. An uncle, or some type of father figure, some type of older male family member. Could be significant. I just seem addicted to the lifestyle. Somebody's addicted to a lifestyle. Somebody wanted to live that lifestyle, a certain lifestyle here. Evidently they couldn't afford. They wanted to live a lifestyle they can't afford. Maybe somebody was providing them a certain lifestyle here. I see pretending to like you. Somebody may have been pretending to like you here. Could have been a Capricorn here. But this person, they don't like the light that you carry. And so if you do things the right way here, if you're not, like your light is your character. Maybe who you're connected to, how you do things, your morals, your values here, the integrity that you have. This is somebody don't like the way you move here. Maybe this is a person who's used to keeping secrets here. You know, it's a person who could be used to doing, you know, I hate to say crooked things, but you know, sideways things here. Although his hatred is concealed in deceit, his evil will be exposed in the congregation here. I can't make this up. Somebody was definitely pretending to like you. Look, y'all was right behind it. They were paid to do it. So there's somebody who was concealing. They were hiding the fact that they didn't like you. They were paid to do something here. This person paid to pretend like they like you, or paid to go against you somehow. I seen yes. So this person could have been paid to pretend like they like you here. And so this could have been a person that they were trying to have keep an eye on you. You know, like a monitoring spirit. I know people think of monitoring spirits and they think of actual spirits. But monitoring spirits can be people, the person that, you know, your best friend, people you call your best friend. Monitoring spirits can be your family, who you're telling all your business to, you know. Monitoring spirits can be somebody on your Instagram page who watch everything you do but don't like anything. They just there to keep up with what it is you're doing. Those are monitoring spirits there. They there to mind your business, to see what it is that you're doing. And so they could have paid somebody here to act as if they like you. Almost like a distraction while they are able to. I keep saying trying to clean it up. Now they're trying to clean it up. They could have paid someone to act as if they like you, to keep you distracted while they tried to get away with stealing this from you. Abusive. Somebody could have been abusive here. It could have been mentally, physically abusive here. Verbally abusive. Use your bullies here. What I started off talking about, your bullies. The one that try to they try to beat you down with their words, with saying little slick things to make you second guess yourself, to try to cause you to have low self-esteem. Say things to try to make you kind of pick yourself apart. Could have definitely had somebody here that was meant to pretend like they like you and maybe make you feel like shit at the same time. See a bar, tavern right behind it. Somebody could work at a bar. I'm trying to pick up the card. Somebody could work at a bar or a tavern. Have some type of connection, association, a club. They can have people filing fake reports on you. Sound like this was some kind of elaborate setup by several people. I see as men. Definitely could be some men doing this here. I also see adult children. Somebody could have their children doing something. Possibly if you have adult children, they can have your adult children doing something here. Filing fake reports. This somebody. It's like somebody. It's a setup. It's like somebody here. They may be trying to frame you for something here. This is some people who are desperately trying to get away with something here that was stolen from you. I see phone tap. Somebody's phone could be tapped. Healer right behind it. So a healer's phone could be tapped. I see Mike here. Y'all, Okay. My ex-husband's name is Mike. He's also a Libra. But this could be somebody. You see chaos, confusion spells. This could be somebody's ex. Yeah, ex-husband, ex-boyfriend, ex-friend. Your could be like your in-laws here working with your family members here to steal something. So somebody may have, you already seen sleeping with their ex. Somebody could have slept with your ex. That could have been, somebody could have slept with your ex. And had these people are working together here to steal something. They don't want you to have something here. I see Snake trying to clean it up. No, I haven't had anything to do with my ex-husband. I haven't talked to him since my divorce was finalized. I see love spells here. Somebody could have been doing love spells, maybe to try to get you to come to them, to fall for them here. Maybe to try to spin the block again. But this person may have slept with somebody here. Your friend or your family. I can't make this shit. I can't make it up, y'all. It popped right. I couldn't even get it out all the way. It popped right back to the top. Y'all see? Let me just show y'all. That's how many index cards I'm working with right here. For this to pop right back up as I was about to say it out my mouth. Remember somebody, this ex could have definitely slept with one of your family members or your friends here. Somebody from your past. And it's about money, y'all. Will you marry me? Definitely could have been an ex-husband. This is all about money and stealing property here. Something that belonged to you. These people did not want to see you have. So it looked like you may have a bitter person from your past and some hateful, jealous, entitled family members here. Salty Beach. Salty Beach. Use your imagination. You know, what other B word could that be? I feel like you got somebody here in your family that's salty. They're angry here about something, some type of lifestyle you were living, some type of lifestyle you were going to live had you received whatever this is that was for you. Isaiah 33:1. Woe to you, you destroyer who has not been destroyed, you betrayer who has not been betrayed. When you finish destroying, you will be destroyed. When you finish betraying, you will be betrayed. Widespread in a particular area or at a specific time. Prevalent here. So that's what I feel like you have. Prevalent betrayers. People around you. Oh, like snakes on a plane. They had snakes all around them here. Like you got a bunch of snakes all around you here. Family members, old friends here that did not want you to receive whatever this was. And they may have been working with people. I don't know what this is sitting right here for, but you know, take it how it resonates. They could definitely been working with people who have some type of status somewhere. It could be in a town you live in. If you move from the town that you were actually born in, this could have something to do with the town that you were born in. You know, like my ex-husband is from New Orleans. This could have something to do with a town maybe your in-laws are in. You know, for me, it would be Alabama, Georgia, New Orleans, Louisiana. But when all of this started happening, I kept complaining about certain tags being around me and the feeling of being followed. And I noticed all those different tags. And one of the main ones was Alabama tags. Alabama tags. The paper tags. At the time, it was Texas. A lot of Texas, Florida, Tennessee tags surrounding me everywhere I went. Every single where I went. Look. They have courthouse connections. So remember I said at the beginning, for them to steal something like an inheritance, they would have had to have like some inside people working too. People in the bank, people in the courthouse, you know, attorneys on their side working with them. Whoever, I don't know. So remember at the beginning I said these are resourceful people. Maybe somebody was sleeping with somebody for resources because they had connections to certain people and they could just have them do things that they shouldn't have been doing, you know. It's like everybody who smokes knows somebody who smokes. They know other smokers. Drinkers know other drinkers. If you do some kind of hard drugs, you know, if you smoke CRACK, then you probably know other people that smoke CRACK. And so I said that to say, corrupt people will know other corrupt people. And so it's probably nothing for them to get somebody just like them. They know other people who are just like them. Remember, it said they don't like you because of your light. Because you're not on that level of corruption like them. Because you don't do things like they do here. And so you probably have people looking at you. And some of them, you know, tell them what rumors they spread. Some of them may think you crazy. But you for sure got some of them out here. The ones who know what's going on. And we think you feel like you're too good for them or something because of the level that they're willing to get on to do certain things that you don't put yourself on, you know. You don't carry yourself like that. And this is why whatever this is you were getting was coming to you. This is why whatever lifestyle you were living, you know, you were able to have through working for it because you try to do things the honest way. Not saying that you're perfect. Ain't nobody perfect, but you know, God judges you by your heart. And so if you're trying to do things the honest way, the right way, and you got people out here mad because of what it is that you're receiving, and they just want to take it from you. They working with whoever it is corrupt that they know of, people who are more like them, to try to take this from you. This is your copycats here. This is people who want to be you without doing the work. They want to be you, but they don't want to put in the same work as you have. They don't want to work on themselves. They don't want to do the right thing. They don't want to take that path less traveled. They don't want to maybe do what seems to be the hard thing for them. They want it the easy way. And so these are people working that they conspired together to take this from you. It's fraud. Is what it is. And you got your own family here working with people from your past. Again, whether that's, you know, old people you used to associate yourself with, whether it was somebody they put in your face to pretend as if they like you, you know, to occupy your time, to keep your head turned while they were stealing this from you, whether it was your ex-husband or your ex-wife here. You got people working together to steal from you. And this was definitely planned. an elaborate plan, because there are many different facets to this. There's many different people from many different walks of life, many different lifestyles, many different job titles here, many different positions, many different places. Envy, envy, sabotage, elite. You have people want to live a certain lifestyle off of you, of being able to just take it. And so you're putting work in and not seeing the results of your work, not seeing the fruits of your labor, while here it is, they just sitting in the background coming up with plans on how to steal stuff from you and how to try to take things from you, and how to try to make sure you don't have what it is that you're working for, how to make you look like a bum while they look like God is just blessing them to the world. But the truth is, they're thieves. The truth is, these are thieves here. Meanwhile, people are doing what they know how to do, using whatever it is they know how to do. Remote viewing to tap in and see what you're doing, to watch you, to have other people watch you, to position people to where they can watch you from a distance, to where they know what you're doing all the time. This is an invasion of privacy as well. This is almost like a violation of your civil rights here, because they're doing whatever they're trying to do. Your privacy is being invaded. They're doing what they got to do to try to keep you from talking, to monitor what it is that you have going on. Yeah, paid to do it. Somebody was paid to do it. A celebrity. So remember what I said, if you've been dealing with anybody with any type of status, anybody who could be a little resourceful, if you know yourself, like I know, your family couldn't do this on their own, they don't have that type of power, then these resources would have had to come from somewhere else. And I see it's courthouse connections, it's elite people, possibly people with status, people who are known, paid to do something here. Maybe even been paid to distract you here. Maybe you thought you had a friendship or some type of relationship with some type of celebrity here. It's what they were paid to do here. I just seen trying to ruin your reputation. Definitely somebody spreading the rumors. Definitely defamation of character. Definitely slander going around here. Definitely a lawsuit you probably have against these people. Outside of the fact that they've committed fraud already. I don't know why I want to say identity theft here. Somebody that could be significant, but they've committed this fraud already. They trying to make you look a certain way, trying to ruin your reputation. This is that smear campaign to try to take away your credibility. if we can say all these things about you, if we can have people look at you a certain way here, and what that's going to do is take away your credibility. Not only that, if people are questioning, we've already spreaded so much rumors. Now people are going to just talk about what it is they heard, which is going to be BS, because what we've been doing is paying people the entire time to do this. Paid actors all around. You got people everywhere you are. Take that shit to trial. Take them to court. Start you a lawsuit. Get you an attorney. And start suing the hell out of people. I just seen jail. Again. And disabled. Because here's the thing. Nobody cared about you while all this stuff was happening to you. Their main focus was on getting to this money, getting away with stealing this house. Nobody cared about you. So nobody cared about you losing your job. If you had any type of businesses online, nobody cared about your businesses being ruined. Nobody cared about your pages being shadow banned, and so you're not even being seen when you post things. Nobody cared about you not being able to find another job after you've been blacklisted, after they've said stuff that wasn't true. Nobody cared about, the rumors being spread, like I said, the slander, the defamation of character. Nobody cared about that. Nobody cared about ruining friendships. Nobody cared about you not having one person that you can call on, that you can trust. It was all by design. Nobody cared that you may have been in a situation where, you were homeless. Maybe, at one point you had no income coming in. Nobody cared about that. Remember at the beginning I told you the last conversation I had with my mother? And her response to me saying that I lost everything, it was definitely not the response that a mother would give you. You telling your parent that you have lost everything. You expect it to be something, what happened? At least what happened? Do you need anything? Can I send you something? Although I wasn't, I didn't say that for any of that. It's just like, dang, It's like you don't give a damn at all. It's just like that, Sometimes God does things. And it was so funny to me because after that, that was like over a message. And shortly after that, I remember thinking, I need to screenshot these messages that I've sent them and their responses to it, because it seemed like to me, people know more than what they leading on. It seemed like to me, I can tell, I'm an energy person. I read the energy a lot. And I could tell it was something else other than that. So I'm like, I need to go back in and screenshot these messages. And I went back in to look at the message. And it had some kind of like a warning up there telling me that like whatever she had clicked on, something I guess you signed up for. I don't know how you do that. But it says something to the effect of the messages automatically delete. They're automatically deleted after 24 hours. It hadn't said that. It's not like that's the first time that I've ever said anything to her in a message. It didn't say that any time before then. But when I was thinking I need to go back in and screenshot this message, I noticed when I went back in, that's what it said. And I'm like, well, dang. Did she try to delete the messages or something? So I wouldn't go back and look at it again. But it's cool, I don't know. It's cool. I'm not tripping. But my point is, they didn't care. Nobody cared about what you were going through because they caused you to go through it. And so when they want you to have empathy or some kind of sympathy towards them and what they may be going through, if they want you to maybe be forgiven and not get you an attorney and not file lawsuits on these people who were working together, because this ain't just your family, this is your family working with people in positions. I said it could be attorney, it could be, you know, if this is, I see security again, it could be somebody at the bank here with this disabled. You don't know if they were working with doctors to say a specific thing about you. If this was like an insurance policy, they would have been maybe working with somebody, insurance company. Lawsuit. I just seen lawsuit. Trying to stop you from manifesting here. They don't want you to see you get what it is that you deserve, what you work for, what it is that God was giving you. They don't want to see you with it. There's some people who feel like they deserved it, so they were going to take it. Entitled, selfish, money hungry. Somebody may have definitely been blackmailed here. I see they threatening a child. And so with this, they threatening a child, takes me back to the adult children. Somebody may have had something to do with it here. They could have threatened a child. They could have blackmailed a child and had them doing something here. Could be your own child. So blackmailed or bribed somehow your own child to help them do something here, to help them get away with something. See, naive. That child definitely could have been naive. You know, a little bit gullible. Not aware of what the consequences of them participating in this would have been here. I see siblings. So maybe some of your siblings could have blackmailed a child, your child, their child here. They paid them to do something, to maybe say something here about you, or to provide them with some information about you, maybe, you know, social security number, IDs, to do something. They got a naive, somebody didn't, who wasn't able to put together, to process the consequences of what it is that they were actually doing here. Mendacity. Somebody lied about it. They were definitely lying about something. They were lying their ass off about something here. They may have lied to your child. They were lying, spreading these rumors around. Lying, trying to build up alliances, trying to have people work with them. And so some people may have chose to work with them, may have chose their side, not knowing the truth, under the pretenses that something else was the case. You know. Seeing siblings don't like the light that you carry. So This could be your own jealous siblings. We already said that, your family here. So it's jealous siblings that did not like the way that you were being viewed. They didn't like for people to see you in this good light that you were in. They don't like for people to see you under the reputation that you built for yourself. And so this may have been siblings even going around, could have even been talking a lot about your past. But you know what? Everybody has a past. And by design, you're supposed to grow. That's what you should do. People do things. Everybody has a past. People make mistakes, and you grow from your past. For those people who are still stuck in their past, it's something wrong with that. So if you're still stuck in my past, if they're still stuck in your past, then it speaks volumes about who they are. Because that's the whole purpose, to make mistakes, to experience things, and to grow from it. Furthermore, when you experience things, when you make those mistakes and you grow from things, that's how you're able to teach. That's how you're able to speak on things, whether it's to your children or to other people, so they won't make the same mistakes. And so for them to even be bringing up things that you may have gone through in your past is, again, it's a selfish thing that they're doing to try to ruin your reputation, to make people look at you a certain way, when the truth is, it's them who have experienced no growth. It's them that want you to be stuck back in the area where you didn't look as good as this reputation that you built for yourself. And so this could have definitely been people going around and talking about things in your past, trying to bring up things you may have done in your past to try to put blemishes on who you are in the present day. Because they didn't like the way that you were looking. Bitter. See, bitter and catfish. So somebody was definitely in the background trying to be you, trying to copy you, trying to do what it is that you were doing. And the whole time they are jealous, they're bitter. It's a person who's angry at who you've become, when all they've ever had to do was to work on themselves. But instead of doing the work on themselves, it was easier to tear you down and steal what was yours. Using others to make you jealous, frequenting your job, making plans on how they're going to get you fired, what they're going to say, who they're going to work with possibly. Because the way I was fired from my job after all the years I put in from a manager who didn't even know how to fully do his job, y'all, I kid you not, he was there for every bit of a year. He was still learning his job. I was there for 11 years. I could have helped him learn his job. This is somebody who I made a report on because of the things he was doing out of retaliation. This is somebody I went to HR on, and they didn't even give me a response for me reporting him retaliating about stuff. And it wasn't just the way he was treating me, it was things he was doing. Like, He was constantly having work done to my property to try to annoy me. It was all done and a thing to try to annoy me. But that wasn't, I wasn't complaining about the work being done to my property. But it was things like he would constantly be having work done to the property, but the things I would ask him to do to my apartment was not being done. And so he would purposely neglect my requests while doing other things that made absolutely no sense. And so money was going to where it didn't even make sense to put it. And my whole apartment was just being neglected. And so I remember they put up this new sign. They painted all on the outside, y'all, and put the new sign up, and it was like nails sticking in my balcony, about this long, coming out my balcony from the outside inside, about this much inside. And I was telling him that they need to come in and redo the sign, put some new nails in it or something, because of those, that's dangerous to have nails sticking out this size. And my grandson played out there, and he pretty much told me, don't use it. Just don't use it. So just don't use my balcony because you too much in your ego to have them come and remove the nails out of something and place the proper nails back in it. So it wasn't just things he was doing out of spite to me. It wasn't just the retaliation things he was doing out of spite, but it was things that was, safety issues. It was safety issues. And so, yeah, definitely he politely went in and found you only supposed to get 3 write-ups before they fire you. I never had a write-up in the whole 11 years I've been there, y'all. When I tell you, he tried to find something to write me up about, and he found it so fast to the point where he went and dug some things up. Mind you, he had been there probably not even a whole year at that point. One of the 3 write-ups that I had was from something 7 years prior. And so, don't that tell you everything you need to know? 7 years prior. I'm like, so it's it is what it is. It's been 2 years. And they fired me right when my mother passed away. And so I was in the middle of preparing for a funeral and going back and forth home, trying to do stuff there. He fired me from a place I was working and living in for 11 years and then gave me 3 days to move out. 3 days. And so, yeah. Gang stalk and back porch. So funny because my back porch is where I kept having trouble getting into my house. My lock would almost never work because somebody was jamming something in there, because like I told you, they were breaking in and out my apartment. Now, who are they? I have no idea. Could have been the people I work for. Hell, it could have been other people, but it seemed like to me they were all on the same page, to be honest with you. They were all on the same page. Family, supervisor at work, co-workers at work, coming to my property while I wasn't there, either after hours or maybe when I go to the bank or something. I was constantly having stuff thrown in my hallways and placed inside of my units, and doors unlocked that only someone who worked there would have the key to. Never had those issues before, but all of a sudden I started having all those issues. And the stuff that was being thrown in my hallways just so happened, like I say, I've been there for 11 years. He had only been there one, and so his little brain probably could not process the fact that I knew where the stuff was coming from. And so I'm looking at the stuff that was in my hallways and inside of the units constantly. I'm constantly having to sweep the hallways. I'm constantly having to sweep units out because it literally looked like somebody took a shovel or something and just threw it across. And I'm knowing that the stuff doesn't come from just your regular moving in and moving out. Because I've been there for so long, I've worked at different properties, and so I know the setup of different properties, and so I know some of those stores have certain things on the ceiling, and the stuff from the ceiling would fall down a lot inside the unit at certain properties. And so certain properties had an issue with the ceiling falling, the stuff from the ceiling falling down. My ceilings were metal. My walls were concrete. And so I say that to say the stuff that I would find in my units would be stuff from the ceiling of other properties. But he ain't been there long. Like I said, he hadn't been there long enough to even be able to process to even be able to process something like that. You know, if he had somebody doing it, maybe they hadn't been there long enough to even process it. Like something did not click, because how you throwing that stuff from your ceiling in my units and in my hallways, and I don't even have those type of ceilings over here. And so, you know, the whole thing was a setup, and this whole thing here is a setup. And so it all just, you know, I'm gonna tell you, they work with people here. They were working with people here who knew exactly what was going on. People being paid to work with them. People being paid to turn a blind eye, you know. People being paid to pretend like they don't know what's going on. You know, people being paid to maybe file the fake reports or say certain things. Of course, I don't even have to go into the fact that, you know, I said on a bunch of my other stuff how I used to catch the local PD around my place sometimes, and so, you know, that popping out don't surprise me. But you know, they say it ain't what you know, it's who you know. Tiny and tight entanglement here. That's what just popped out. So something could have been about an entanglement. It's no telling who they had working with them to do this. It's a bunch of people working together on different levels. You know, people with a status here you would never expect to even be working, to even be risking their status to be working with some people like this, you know. People who you wouldn't expect to be risking their job to work with people like this. People who you would not expect to be risking their reputation. And so for them, this must have been a for sure thing that they thought they can get away with. You know, after all, we're going to kill her whole hierarchy of needs. We're going to make sure she's completely isolated, or he's completely isolated. We're going to spread all these rumors around town to ruin their reputation, to dampen their credibility, you know, to make people think twice before they believe whatever is coming out their mouth. Gonna have you constantly watched by people that we hire. I can't make this up. I picked this card up and this one was there. Look, we're gonna break in and out the house and place things in the food. And it may look like she just strung out on drugs. And so that's another thing that, you know, tell people she on some kind of drugs or something. That we place her in things, in her food, in her house. I don't know. King here. Somebody that could be significant. This was a whole master plan. So anyway, I've been on here an hour and 49 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get off. What's this? Psalms 55, 5. There's some changes. You already seen something coming to an end. I just seen liability, moneyless, bad investment here. They made a bad investment is what they did. They invested into trying to set somebody up. And you know, time is up. And you're setting somebody up who did not deserve it, who was not doing anything, all because you're arrogant, all because you're in your ego, all because you're jealous, all because you don't like the way they are being seen, all because you don't like the clean reputation that they built for themselves, all because you want to have something that's going to them, all because you don't want to see them with something here that you feel like maybe will put them in a better position than you are, all because a bunch of BS. So here it is again. They made a bad investment here to try to set somebody up, and the ending, it's all coming to an end. I see doppelganger here, but we already seen catfish. Somebody was definitely out there pretending to be you, whether they were just faking your personality or whether they had to actually pretend to be you in order to get something signed over to them. They were definitely out here pretending to be you. And so Psalms 55, what does it say? Deliverance from the city of deliverance from the city of people you know that come against you or betray you. It's oppression. Psalms 56 says protection from oppression and death here. This is what you were surrounded by, a city of people trying to oppress you, trying to make sure you had nothing, trying to run you into the ground, trying to get you in a position where you just laid down and just took it, where you just went and withered up somewhere, where you didn't even want to show your face because maybe you too embarrassed to show your face. You too embarrassed to say anything. You know, after you've lost everything, after people looking at you crazy because your reputation has been ruined. That's this. Deliverance from the city of people you know that come against you. You had a whole city of people. Whole city. Whole city working against you. And so, with that many people coming up against you, you know that people had probably several different reasons why they wanted to join the clique of working. You had some jealous. I see relationships here. We already seen entanglement. Maybe something had to do with relationships. You had envious family members. You had people who stood to gain some type of finances here from being paid for whatever it is that they were doing. Yeah, all different reasons. People here ganged up with all these different reasons. They don't want you to have what it is you should have already. what they weren't banking on was the truth coming out. What they weren't banking on is the truth prevailing through everything that they have set up. What they weren't banking on is being caught. Doing fraud. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I think I've been on here long enough. And I didn't even pull tarot on this. Should I pull some? No, I don't think I'm going to pull any. I've been on here long enough. No need of putting tarot to this, because I think this told a well enough story in itself. So it's just a matter of time. Strength, courage, and wisdom. That's what you're being called to have right now. And, be strong with whatever it is you're going through. Don't be afraid to speak out. And be wise in the choices that you make. Because you got somebody always watching you. You got people here that want to make you look a certain way. You got people here who are desperate for their little plan to work. There's too many people involved. Too much money has went out. And one thing about doing things and then including so many people when you do it, it's always going to be somebody. It's always going to be somebody in there that's willing to tell when they get caught, you know. You should never bring them. I don't want to sound like I'm giving advice, but when you do something, you don't bring 1,000 different people in to work with you on it, because somebody in there gonna fold. So it's just a matter of time. They thought they had the master plan here. It's just a matter of time. So that's what I got, y'all. I'll be back.